Hey guys, happy Monday. I wanted to go live earlier because I had something on my heart this morning, and it's something I've been thinking about for like the last week, and I just didn't get a chance to get on. Hey Dana, I didn't get a chance to come on live earlier. I just had a hectic Monday. So I figure, let me get this off my chest now rather than, hey Danielle, rather than waiting until another day when I will probably forget about this. Hey Linz, hope you're healing well at home. Thank you guys for joining me live. I guess it's a good time for people. I never get on at nighttime, so maybe I'll start doing that. Oh, I miss you too, Dana. I can't wait to see you tomorrow. But let me get right into it. So if you saw what I wrote about stop dieting, it's because my goal is to give other people the allowance to listen to your body and do what's right for you, rather than feeling like you're being pushed to follow a bunch of things that maybe hey Dan, maybe your girlfriend mentioned to you, or your best buddy, or your spouse, or the talking heads on TV, what they're trying to tell you to do. So I just wanted to mention, sometimes it's important to just listen to your gut feeling and your instincts, because I'm finally at the point where I really feel really good, right? And not just with how I look, but with how I feel. And to be completely honest, I pretty much have been eating whatever I want to a certain extent, right? For those of you who probably follow me know that I follow the 80-20 rule, where I happen to enjoy healthy foods most of the time, and I treat my body because I respect it, so I eat fairly healthy, so I enjoy things, but I also enjoy fun things too, just like everybody else. So but how I felt my body responding in the past, for instance, I used to feel like I used to have to be super careful with what I ate if I wanted to feel a certain way for my own health, right? Whereas now I'm able to allow myself more leeway as far as what I'm eating, and according to plan or off plan or whatever plan I'm following. And now I'm allowed to, I'm able to do a lot of that without having, with still being able to feel really good and see results. And I'll get more into it, because I'm not here to talk about me and brag about what I can eat and what I can't eat. But I just wanted to share a story, because 4 years ago, this was not the case 4 years ago. I was, I remember when I first realized something wasn't right, because I was training for my first fitness competition, and I remember just knowing my body wasn't responding the way I thought it should be compared to what I was doing, right? How much I was training and what I was eating. And I'd always considered myself a pretty healthy person, right? As far as my level of fitness and what nutritionally I would eat. So when I was pushing my body a little harder for a fitness competition, I realized it wasn't responding the way I'd expected it to. So I was like, oh my gosh, do I have metabolic damage, or what's going on here? I just knew something was wrong. For some reason my body was I was weight loss or body fat resistant. I just couldn't I couldn't get to the point where I wanted to be or needed to be for a competition. And I remember I got to the point I was so fed up, because not only that, I was exhausted, and I had super low immunity. So I knew I was getting sick all of the time. 4, 5, 6 times a year I would pick up colds or whatever it may be, a lot of different issues. So I finally got to the point where I was super fed up and I was like, something's not right and I need to like figure it out, because I tried a lot of things on my own, and I'm a researcher and I'm a nutrition nerd, for those of you who might not know me as well, and I didn't know what was going on, so I was like, what am I going to do? So I happened to find a functional medicine doctor who was able to help me out with some with trying to figure out, like, at first I wanted to pinpoint what was going on, like, did I have hormonal damage, like what was the issue. And I was told that yes, I did have hormonal damage, but rather than go put a band-aid on it and just go to see like an endocrinologist or deal with somebody who was probably going to just maybe prescribe me synthetic hormones or something else, I decided to do the work and get some answers in figuring out what the root cause of this was, right? So after like months and months of testing, probably, I can't remember because this is now like 4 years ago, and this is what dawned on me today, because I was in a group and somebody, I'm in a group about this issue, and somebody was asking a question about how much a certain test costs, and I remember thinking like, geez, I have no idea what I paid for these tests. I do know that a majority of, hey Melissa, I do know a majority of the tests that I was doing were like somewhere between like $250 to like $450, because insurances don't cover half of these tests. But I was committed to finding out the answer, so I knew, like, I invested quite a few $1,000s in figuring this out over like a 1 to 2 year time span. All right, sorry about that. Okay, so hopefully that's a little bit better. So for about, I just lost connection for a second, so I'm back. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me okay? After like months of testing, like I said, it took about a year or two to figure out a lot of this, because, we kind of started in one area and kind of worked ourselves like backwards in trying to figure out what this, like, the root cause of this hormonal imbalance / like what, like, I was fatigued, I had I was getting like cystic acne on my chin. I was what else with issues I was having? I just always felt lethargic, a lot of joint pain, like a lot of soreness, but I thought it was like things that I was doing. So I finally got down to the root cause of it. Like I said, after about a year, I found out that I had an overgrowth of candida in my gut, and leaky gut, so to speak, which I guess caused the chronic fatigue, extra stress on my adrenal glands, and then that's what then caused my hormones to go crazy. So it's like this domino effect, right? So I followed like a gut healing, candida fighting protocol in order to heal my gut and gain all of that energy back. But I gained energy. I built my immunity back up, so my immune system started functioning like it was supposed to, and really I got my life back. And finally, like, I can share this with you guys, because I finally feel like, even though I did all that work, like about, I guess, starting about 3 years ago, when we finally got the answers and I started working to heal the issue, that was about 3 years ago, I can finally say that I think I'm finally at a place where I can actually feel a difference with my body. Like, feel a difference. And that's why I wanted to share that. Dana's saying she feels that's happening to her now. Yeah. When your body is like having issues with like resisting whatever it is you're trying to have it do, it makes me realize now that like everything I was doing, it was just working against me, because my body wasn't just working optimally, and I needed to, get it back to like a healthy state in order to have it, like reduce body fat or build muscle or like whatever it was I was trying to do, right? So I wanted to share that with you guys because I wanted to mention like why I'm thinking now is like why I think people need to stop just dieting. Like I see it all the time because I see people like trying to push their body, like following something crazy, right? Taking a certain food group out of their diet, so to speak, or meal plan, or trying these like crazy things to shed pounds. When the reality of it is if you fix your health, if you actually invest in getting healthy and thinking of it in that mindset first, that the rest will follow through. That everything else that you want will eventually happen, right? So here are some reasons why I think like you just need to stop dieting, because hitting a certain weight doesn't magically make you happy, right? A lot of people think like, oh, when I get to a certain size or a certain weight, then everything in my life will be perfect. Well, ask a bunch of people who've done that and guess what they'll say? Nope, that's not the truth. Normally, at some point along the way, most people, and hear me out because I work with people every day, that at some point they realize when they first come to me and they say it's about X, Y, or Z pounds, or they want to feel confident, looking a certain way, whatever it may be, their goals change like within the first 30 days. The next reason why I think you need to stop dieting is because you need to work on the mindset muscle just as much as anything else, like the muscle it takes to, do a bunch of crunches, or the muscle it takes to say no to resist certain foods, right? So the mindset muscle has to be worked first. Also, because you need to like love yourself and believe in yourself before, like that's the first step. You need to like love yourself before you're investing in that like next step. So you have to work on your own personal development. You want to stop dieting because you want to prioritize feeling good and actually being healthy over just losing weight. Like I said, that was just what I mentioned, right? Because you don't want to miss out on life, or, how about when you're on like some really strange, hardcore diet, how you have to like not have a life. And believe me, I've done that because I've done fitness competitions, and for 6 months, you can't drink alcohol, you can't eat certain foods. So like dining out doesn't work. So that can really deter you from having a normal life, like spending time with the people you care about, being able to go to functions with your family, or like whatever it may be. So you don't want to allow like counting calories or different things to like take over your life. You should be doing something that feels very natural to you, because you don't want to live in a life where you feel like you're being punished, right? I know a lot of people think it's like we live in this society where we think like working so hard to the point that we should be like overworked all the time, and like we should always be like sacrificing something in order to achieve something else. What else did I want to mention? Because realizing that you want to do it for you and not to please others in some way. Oftentimes, a lot of times when people first seek out dieting in some way, it's because there's ego involved, right? But realizing that you're doing it for you before you're doing it for somebody else. Unless, of course, you're using that something else or someone else as part of your motivation, so to speak, or what we call like having a really good reason, a why, for doing what you're doing. But you know what I mean. Like, I mean that in like a negative way, when sometimes, you might hear someone else maybe say something to you like referencing the way you look. So now you're trying to lose weight, so to speak, in order to please somebody else and not for yourself. And also because you might want to show your children what it's like to have positive body image. So I don't have children, but the one thing I cringe is when I hear somebody talking negatively about themselves in front of their children, and especially when it's about body image, because I can only imagine, like, yeah, it was hard for me even growing up. I don't really remember too much negative body image issues growing up, but I can only imagine being a child nowadays, and I just it sickens me to see what, you know, children already have to see in the media. They should actually, you know, at home have a really positive influence. So again, if we're speaking negatively about ourselves in reference to how we look and our weight and things like that, and what, you know, what we can or can't do or have, it's just, that's something that we have to be, I think, sensitive to in front of children. But overall, the reason why I'm sharing this all with you, and I sometimes don't like to be too opinionated, but this was something that was just really on my heart, because, you know, a lot of us have different opinions or different beliefs when it comes to dieting, and I'm just learning that when you focus on listening to your body and actually wanting to be healthy rather than just looking a certain way or following something because somebody else is saying it's the thing to do, you end up finding what actually works best for you, rather than having your body work against you, like what was happening to me 4 years ago. So anyway, I hope that you found this helpful and as like a good reminder that sometimes, you know, it's okay, like, use your instincts and listen to your body. Because ultimately you're going to find, you know, it might take time. Like I said, it took me 2 years to get some answers, and another 2 years to start to actually see these little results where now I feel like I'm finally hitting this groove of feeling like my body has, like, probably been healed of a lot of these gut issues, and it's finally working. It's finally working again at an optimal level. So I just wanted to share that with you because if it can maybe inspire some other people that this is not a quick, you know, getting your health back, weight loss, getting fit, getting healthy, whatever you want to call it. It's not like something that you're going to figure out in one day or 1 week or 3 weeks. That this is such a long, this is a really long game, I should call it, because it's just not, there's just so many, like, the human body is an amazing thing, and it's not something where you're just going to get like a quick answer to, because each of us are completely different. And if you think you're going to get, you know, because your friend got results on something, that you're going to get the same results, that's not a good expectation to have in life. All I can say is that you have to just go out there and be your own advocate for your health, and just keep looking for answers, and keep looking and trying new things and testing your own body, because we only get one body. And I will tell you, it's like night and day with going from feeling like you can barely keep your eyes open or have enough energy to get on with the day, or having so much brain fog that you can't even, you go from like, I know what it felt like, you know, I used to be an amazing student. Like, I remember what it felt like to be able to, you know, concentrate on things. And then I know what it feels like to not be able to concentrate on things. And if there's anything that I can just share about that is that, you know, you don't have to live like that if you don't want to. So it's totally worth just getting out there and finding answers for yourself. So again, I hope this was really helpful and just a really good reminder to just listen to your body and try new things out and see what works for you and stop dieting. So that's the good news, guys. So I hope that this has been helpful. If you feel like this has been helpful to you, feel free to share this with anyone else that you might think this might be helpful for as well. And let me know your thoughts. I can't wait to hear what you guys are thinking and how you might benefit by making some changes like this in your life. All right, guys, talk to you soon. Bye.